Hello, everybody. I'm Elena Bim, your intuitive holistic lifestyle coach, psychic medium. Welcome to April's predictions. Now that we're done with March, March was a very busy month. A lot of things happening, a little bit of chaos, a lot of energies, but also March, all this stuff happening is for the good. So March's 25th full moon is actually a positive full moon. Usually full moons throw us into a retrograde of some sort, but March 25th is all about transformation and acceleration. So embrace the changes coming your way because it's all for the good. And if you feel a lot of anxiety or if you've been anxious a lot lately, just understand that's spirit's way of just nudging you to take a certain direction. So it's not a bad thing. You might be nudged right now by spirit to go a certain way because it's such a transformative year because we're in the year of the wood dragon, which is all about changes and transformation in the year of action. Now it's interesting. I pulled the cards for April. And April's going to take a little bit of a turn. So before I get into April's predictions, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button at the bottom. I really appreciate it. And it helps my channel. And I'm grateful for it as well. So let's get into April's predictions. So as always, I have pulled 2 cards for every week. So the initial card shows me the theme of the week. And then the second card is just kind of like a co-pilot to that card. So it's either an affirmation or an emotion that you have to be wary of or just take an account for. So I pulled 2 cards for every single week. In April, we actually have dates within 5 weeks. So the last week of April, there's only 3 days in it, but I still do a reading for it. So let's start with the first week of April. So first week of April goes from April 1st to the 6th. And the 2 cards I pulled out were the High Priestess and the Raven. So let's go to the High Priestess first. The High Priestess is telling you, pay attention to your own psychic gifts and really pay attention to your gut feelings, your own intuition. Because the High Priestess is telling you not everything is what it seems to be. So this is where you're going to have to shut off your intellectual mind, your analytical mind, the left side of the brain, and really ground yourself and hone in on your gut feelings. Something might seem perfect, seem great. Like it could be a work contract, for instance, where all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, everything seems laid out. It seems all perfect. It seems great, almost too good to be true. So the High Priestess is saying, you know what? Not everything seems to be as is. So what the High Priestess wants you to do in this first week of April, you don't have to really take charge or make chaos or cause a ruckus or start getting in an argument with somebody. No, the High Priestess wants you to just stand back and just observe because more information is going to be coming your way. Pay attention. So the High Priestess just asks you to stop and gather more information. The information is coming your way about a particular situation, so you don't have to do anything, just be aware. The second card, the Raven. The Raven is all about magic, coincidences, synchronicities of events. So it pairs up beautifully with the High Priestess because the Raven says, I will give you the messages that you need to figure this out. So don't worry about that. Pay attention to repetitive thoughts. Pay attention to coincidences, like you keep on seeing this one particular person, or this event just keeps on happening over and over again. Why? There's a message to be delivered to you to give you more information about a situation that just doesn't seem to be all that it seems to be. So that's your first week of April. It's not a bad thing, so don't be afraid or anything. It's just saying just be a little bit more aware and gather a little bit more information about the situation. So let's go into the second week of April. The second week of April is from April 7th to the 13th. And I picked out 2 cards, and the first card was Death. And the second card was the Merlin. Now, the Death card, don't be afraid of it. Doesn't mean you're going to die. And I can't tell you when you're going to pass away because that's for God to know. That's not for any psychic to know. Sorry, can't tell you that. Anyways, this Death card it's all about transformation. You're at the end of a chapter in your life and you're about to start a new chapter in your life. So I love it when the death card shows up because it just tells you you're at the end of a cycle, beginning a brand new cycle. And it's really fascinating that the Merlin was paired up with this card because the Merlin is the magician and the high priest. And the Merlin is saying to you, you have absolutely everything you need to move forward and go on the journey you want to go on. So if you've been thinking about starting a new project or changing jobs or starting your own business, for instance, but you've had that hesitation, that self-doubt, or maybe I'm not educated enough, maybe I need another certification. One, stop getting certifications after certifications. Use what you have. And the Merlin is saying to you, you have everything within you to move forward. Stop doubting yourself and go. Now, the Merlin also has another meaning. The Merlin is also saying, you know what? It's possible there's been injustices done in your life, or you're currently having an injustice done to you in your life. So this could be a legal matter. It could be an injustice, an imbalance of power in your life with somebody you're in a relationship with, or a family member or a colleague. There's an injustice of power happening. So there's an injustice, an imbalance happening right now. When the Merlin appears, not only does he say you have everything you need to move forward, but I'm going to right this injustice. Basically, again, stand back, gather your information from the first week of April, and then the second week of April, Merlin is going to rectify this imbalance because you have everything you need to rectify this imbalance. So it will be rectified. So if you're worried about a legal issue, a legal matter happening right now, if it's an injustice based on you, the Merlin's going to rectify it. You just have to kind of sit back and watch. Again, it seems like April's calling us to more like stand back and observe rather than, hone in and take a major action like the month of March was. So you're at the end of a cycle in your life and you're at the start of a new cycle in your life. Welcome to new beginnings. So any injustices or imbalance of powers from your old cycle of life, they're going to be balanced out coming into this new cycle of life. So you should be very excited about this week because this works to your favor. And welcome to new beginnings. Like seriously, welcome to new beginnings. The third week of April. So the third week of April is April 14th to the 20th. And the two cards I pulled up were focus and burden, which was really interesting because they almost seem like opposites, but they're not. They coincide very nicely together. So third week of April is telling you, pay attention to the task directly in front of you. No matter how small that task is, please complete it. Please, please, please. If it's not completed, you can't move forward. And then what happens, all these unfinished tasks are just left, and it's nothing but clutter in your life and just bogs down your energy. And then you get more anxious about it. I haven't done this yet. I haven't done that. I haven't cleaned this up yet. So the third week of April, focus on the task directly in front of you and complete it, no matter how small it is. It can be like take the dog for a walk. Well, do it. Get it off your list and stay focused because remember, the week prior, you're at the end of a cycle, starting a brand new one. We want to stay focused so we're moving forward to success and to abundance and prosperity. Now, that could be money, monetary things, gain some time back for family and loved ones. It can mean a whole bunch of things when I say abundance and prosperity. It's whatever it means to you. So, but you have to stay focused in this new chapter of your life. And then it was paired up by the burden card. So when the burden card appears, it's asking you, what burdens are you carrying still that just don't serve you anymore? Like, are you carrying burdens from the past that happened to you as a child, but it's not happening to you now? So why are you carrying that? It doesn't make sense. And also, are you carrying other people's burdens so they don't get hurt? That's what you really need to analyze in this third week of April. And so far, all the weeks make sense. You're ending a cycle in your life, entering a brand new cycle in your life where you're staying focused, moving forward towards your abundance, prosperity, whatever that your goals and desires are. But you can't do that if you're carrying unnecessary burdens. burdens that don't serve you anymore, or burdens that are not yours. So when the burden card appears, it's telling you it's time to release the burdens that are not yours and let everybody else follow their own path and their own journey and have them learn their own lessons. You are not meant to carry anybody else's burden. That's on their journey for them to clean up, for them to learn and to grow and move on in their path. So stay focused at the task at hand, but stop carrying these unnecessary burdens because it's just going to slow you down. Because Spirit wants you to do well. Spirit wants you to reach your highest point and be fulfilled with prosperity, abundance, whatever it is you desire. But the problem with human beings, we like to carry a bunch of crap with us and we slow ourselves down. It's not Spirit slowing us down, it's us. So this third week of April, please really look at the burdens you're carrying. Are they yours or are they somebody else's to carry? And it's time to release them. That was your third week. Fourth week of April. So April 21st to the 27th. And the Queen and Trust came up. Now, the Queen is always a good card. The Queen is a good ally to have. She is all about woman, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, friendships. So the Queen sits up high. And the Queen is telling you, my dear, don't ever forget your self-worth and your self-confidence and hold your head up high. Basically, the Queen says, I want you to sit on the throne, hold your head up high because you've done good and you should be proud of yourself. But the Queen also says to you, it's time to set boundaries around individuals in your life. Because if you think about it, you're at this new cycle in your life. You're focusing on your task at hand to reach your desires and your goals. You're moving forward. And when you move forward, you ruffle feathers. It's just going to happen. My saying for this year is walk beside me on my journey or get out of my way. That's my saying for 2024. Walk beside me or get the hell out of my way because I'm going to run you over. Because I'm going. This is my year to excel, and you're not slowing me down because people have already slowed you down enough. It's time for you to move forward. So the Queen is saying, time to set some boundaries around individuals gently, and you know how to be authoritative without being aggressive or coming across like as a jerk. So you just have to set boundaries, and you know the individuals in your life they have to set these boundaries for. But remember, you are worth it to receive whatever it is you are meant to receive and what you want to desire in life. You're absolutely worth having it. And the Queen is here to remind you that. And then the card that came after the Queen was the Trust. So this tells me, do you have trust issues? Do you have trust issues trusting your intuition, your own psychic gifts? Are you the type that always has to be in control? Well, if you are, then you're being very rigid. And when you're rigid and you always have to be in control, you slow down the process. So the Trust card is saying, trust your intuition. Spirit and the divine will never do you wrong. And whatever outcome happens, it is meant to happen. Whether it's good or bad, it's meant to happen because it's for you to learn a lesson, to do better and be better on this part of your journey. So if you have trust issues, it's time to relinquish those trust issues. Basically, it's like you're in a raft going down a river. And the only thing I can say to you at this point is sit back and enjoy the ride. Because you can paddle upstream all you want, but at the end of the day, that river's flowing downstream. And no matter how strong you are, honey, you're going downstream. So sit back, enjoy the ride, because Spirit and the divine have your best intentions at heart. So sit on your throne, Queen. Hold your head up high and just trust that divine and Spirit has your best interest for all, because it always does. It always, always does, which is so comforting and such peaceful. You don't have to figure everything out all at once or right now. So just know that. All right. The last week of April is April 28th to the 30th. Now, it's only 3 days, but I still do a reading for it because it does fall in its own week. And the Goblin showed up. The Goblin is your ego. And it fits so perfectly in this month's spread. The Goblin is all about taking you off of your path. So we all have an ego. Okay. Our ego is to protect us. So anytime you want to do something new, something unknown, where you do not know the outcome of it, are you going to be successful? Are you going to fail? Are you going to be hurt? Are you not going to be hurt? Your ego steps in, gives you a bunch of self-doubt thoughts. Oh no, are you sure you want to do this? Do you remember in grade 2, you were made fun of when you spoke in front of the class? Are you sure you want to speak at this convention or this party? Are you sure? That's what the ego does. The ego comes in, fills your head with self-doubt, and what it wants to do is take you off your path. So as a holistic lifestyle coach, I learned this from one of my business coaches. What you do with your ego, you can't get rid of your ego. Your ego is there to protect you. But what you can do is minimize the ego so the ego does not have full control of your life. It's not running the show. You're running the show. So what I do with my ego is I've named my ego Katie. And I love the name Katie, so it's not like I named it something I don't like. So when I'm going to speak at a convention or I do a public speaking event or I'm at a private party doing greetings and I feel that my ego coming in play where I get that self-doubt, say if spirit doesn't show up, say if the cards are wrong, say if I can't do what I do, I take 3 deep breaths because the power of breath cools down the nervous system. And all I say is, Katie, remember that's what I named my ego. I know you're here and you're trying to protect me and you love me. Thank you very much, but I'm good. I don't need you right now. So I just kind of push Katie off to the side because I'm not going to let my ego take me off the path, my purpose and my passion in my life. So be careful in this 4th week of April. You're moving into this new direction, in this new chapter of your life. The ego's going to want to put you back on your old path because it knows the outcome of it. So don't let it do that. And it was paired up with the hawk. I love the hawk. The hawk says, look, I am going to be sending you messages. So pay attention to messages this week. You might literally see writing on a wall in a store, in a mall, or at a cafe. You might overhear somebody's conversation with one another, and it's almost that conversation is directly telling you something. So pay attention to messages from the outside sources. And if you do get any, send me a message because I love it. The messages that people end up receiving unexpectedly or magically. It's like, oh, love it. And so there you go. There's April's prediction. So in a nutshell, you're at the end of a cycle going into a brand new cycle. Hold your head up high. Don't get steered off of your path. Really let go of the burdens you don't need anymore. I think that was a really important card. And trust your gut feeling. And in this 1st week of April, not everything seems to be the way it is. So you just need to gather more information on that. And when I pulled an angel card for the month of April, the angel Azure came up and she says your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith. And don't try to force it to happen. And that pairs up beautifully with the trust card, right? Stop being rigid. Stop trying to control everything. It's time to sit back and enjoy the ride. Anyways, I'm Elena Bain, your intuitive holistic lifestyle coach, your psychic and medium. If you'd like to have a reading with me, click on the link below. It takes you to my website and you can do a direct booking right off my website. Take care. Have a blessed day and we'll talk to you soon.